Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to another Let's Talk. So this is going to be one of those days where there's actually going to be no match being played due to certain connectivity issues that pretty much have been affecting a lot of people. I haven't been able to get into a match today. Today is Sunday, day before, well, if you're in Canada, Victoria Day. If you're not in Victoria, or if you're not in Canada, today is the 22nd. This is probably going up on the 24th, because the 23rd I'll probably be doing a lot of drinking and things like that, and partying. So I haven't been able to really get any matches the last couple of days. When I have, I really couldn't record anything worthwhile, because 2/3 of the, of the guys would be dead. Or not even, they'd be disconnected. So it got to a point where I just couldn't record anything over the weekend. So what I thought I'd do is a little video as the things I would like to see added into the game. Now I know I do these videos often, but I do want to do this more of a state of the game, where the game's sitting, where it looks like it's heading, and all that stuff. So first things first, where it sits. Right now, I like the gameplay. It's not perfect. It's far from it. I think it could use a little modification here and there, changes, tweaks, things like that. But those are things that games like this, like Mechwarrior Online and World of Tanks and Armored Warfare, they all go through their iterations, right? They all do patches every little while to rebalance, to retweak and to set up things so that it's a little bit more fair for everybody type thing. And I like that. So that I already know it's an ongoing process. I like the fact that they have a 5-year plan for this game. They have a plan for it to last 5 more years. I like that. That shows that they're actually looking around the corner. What the next big thing that they can do to the game to add to its lifespan, to get to that 5-year plan. How can they integrate new things and new options and new abilities to get to that 5 years? The one thing I would like to see is once the tabletop version, or not the tabletop, or more integration, I would say a little bit of the tabletop stuff. So maybe tanks, helicopters, a better AI, for example. I would like if we went into Battlezone. The AI would be on almost like a patrol almost. So you'll never know where they spawn. Like they'll spawn in general areas, but in the end it's, a 2% chance of spawning in a top right, bottom left, top left, because you can break them all up into quadrants, right? And then it creates itself a random like patrol route, which is pretty good. And then what it does is, theoretically, the game would drop 12 mechs, or even 14, because it's a large area in that battle zone area. And I think they should extend the battle zone area, to be honest with you, up into where the airport is. Mainly because there's no real open area that you can engage in, really, other than the western part of the map on River City there. But at the same time, I wish that was an ability up there, because there's also the bridge. And that bridge gives you that technical or tactical thought of, do I go across the bridge real fast, take hits but give hits, or do I drop down, work my way, get cover from the slope, and then flank to the right and walk up the ramp, or do I go straight up the hill? YOLO mode. That's something I'd like to see. 2, some sort of better feedback or carryover. I would like to see carryover from all my mechs, how I've done on the Battlezone, and some sort of feedback. Like if I go with my 4P, my Hunchback 4P, and then I go on my Hunchback 2CA, I would like it to show, hey, the last mech was a Hunchback 4P. It was in the battle zone for 30 minutes and got 22 kills and died once, or died twice. And then I'm like, okay, cool, I now know. And it keeps like the highest kills thing, right? It keeps it there for you. I would also like to see it carry over. So if I go back with my Hunchback 4P and I kill someone, it says I now have a 24th, 25th, 26th kill. I'd like to see that roll over. A couple of things I'd like to see in there as well is missiles locking on. Missiles right now are fired blindly; they just go and that's it. And you can move them, which doesn't really cheat you how to properly do something. Because if you're caught with missiles, you need to get either into ACM or ECM, AMS range, or obviously you need to get the fuck out of wherever you are. So I would like to see the LRMs lock onto you a little bit better. Another option in the Academy Bay that I would like to see is a little bit more action, to be honest with you, from the AI. Like right now, I can run at an AI, and it will just follow me for a couple seconds. But once you get within about 40 degrees of the right or the left, they'll start walking in place, or they'll start, or now and then, depending on how fast you run, some of them will just stop dead. Like they'll just pretend they don't see you anymore because they lost you on their radar. They won't continue tracking you, which is pretty sad. Another thing too is I think they should put seismic sensors and 360 retention on all of the mechs in the Academy Bay there. The reason for it is because I don't like sneaking up on a fucking king crab with a fucking Jenner and then just alpha strike in the back of it and watching it drop. The first few times it was fun. Last few times, not so much. So we should add some sort of countermeasure, so it would, or even to cheat a little bit. Once you get within a certain range of a mech, it has quote unquote seismic and knows you're there. Take a sip of my coffee here. Another thing I wanted to see is a little bit of a change up here in this screen. Obviously, I already know next month is the leaderboard, so I'm assuming it's going to be over here somewhere. That I'm actually excited for. I'm looking forward to that ability to see where I sit overall. Now, how they're going to institute this and how they're going to weight it, in my eyes, needs to probably be looked at. If they're weighting it the way they do with the faction play, which we're going to go to real quick here. So, the faction play, we're going to bring this to Razzlehag just so that I don't look that bad. So, right now, Razzlehag, it's weighted towards your kills, most damage dealt. Then games played. Then wins. And then kills. So, to be 100% honest with you, I think, it needs to be modified a little bit. I don't think it should be just kills most damage dealt. I think for the quick play, it's about how much damage you do and your overall scores. So I say it should say like total score, average score, damage dealt, average damage dealt. So like XP earned, average XP earned, C-bills, average C-bills earned. Something like that. Wins as well, losses as well, and kills most damage dealt, but it shouldn't be the most amount, right? The biggest thing in quick play, obviously, is damage. It's all about how much damage you put out there. You can get 800-900 damage in a match and not get any kills most damage dealt because you took off a dude's right arm, left arm, right arm, left arm, right leg. But someone else took out both torsos, the center, both left and right torsos, the other leg, and the center, right? Or even you hit everybody, all 12 people. And, if you hit all 12 people a bunch of times, that's an assist. Assist should be in here as well. Not in the faction play one, because faction play assists aren't that big of a deal. Obviously, killing is the big thing, is killing and capturing. So, but that's something I would like to see a little bit different. So have it set mostly weighted towards things like damage and score. I'll also push the PSR, right? Because PSR is all based around your score. If they're saying score is the most important thing with teamwork, fine. Damage and assists and your score should be the main 3 weight points. But we'll see next month, right? Hopefully, it is not the way the faction play is, because faction play, completely different animals. So we'll see. Another little sip of my coffee here. Now, something I would like to see added into the game is a realism mode. I know I've mentioned this before on multiple occasions, but it's something I'm really would be interested in, or even a PvE mode. I mean, Battlezone is quite close, but I mean, even a realism mode, right, with that power draw system, or even if they turn around and said, "Here's the deal: once a month, we're going to have historical battles." Kind of like they had the Tukey a while ago and all that stuff, where there's just a humongous map. Players are constantly coming and going, and once you're in a match, you're in a match. You can be in the match for hours, or you can be in it for minutes. Basically, what it is some historical battle over a specific planet in the galaxy. So, for example, Planet Pomme de Terre, right? Say there was a classic battle for some sort of factory that built Warhammers, for example. So, what they should do is be like, okay, so side A is Razzlehag, and side B is Kurita. So, you have to have the following mechs to play as the Razzlehag. You have to have the following mechs to play as Kurita. Pretty much you start, you pick your side, and you fight that battle. It could be hours, but you can do it, pretty much, drop in your mech, die, what have you. That mech has a cooldown, you can go into the next one. Alright, as long as you have a mech associated with whichever faction, you can drop on either faction, just as long as you have the mech, right? You just pick the side. So that's something I would like to see. And then it actually has realistic damage, realistic everything. So the weapons do a little bit more damage. So not as arcadey. The weapons are more accurate, are more realistic. So, for example, an LRM doesn't have a range of 1,000 meters. It'll have a range of 3,000 or 4,000 meters. A large laser, for example, will have a range of 3,000 or 4,000 meters as well, or an equivalent. Gauss rifles will be able to hit a target from even further away. So Gauss rifles become very viable, a very long-range sniping. But obviously these maps are huge maps, right? So it makes sense. So you'll have big battles, but a lot of them will be standoff battles, right? And then you'll have your urban combat as well. Then there'll be towns and villages or whatever that are just placed enough that people that want to brawl can go there and actually brawl. There'll be enough buildings and stuff like that kind of will stop things LRMs to a point, but not obviously enough because they can call for fire support. That'd be the next thing. So next month is the command wheel. So that'll also bring in the ability to use said command wheel and say, hey, everybody, we're in the town and we need support. So you get 2 or 3 guys with LRM boats, they turn and go, okay. And, someone with a tag or an arc locks onto that target for them, and then they just rain fire. Which also brings me to another thing, which is alternative ammo for LRMs. I would love to see alternative ammo for LRMs. First one is mines, where I would like to see you hit a button on the map, hit the B button, right? The map pops up. Hit shift and click. When I shift and click, that fires off all my missiles, and they just stick into the ground there. Now, each one only does 2-3 damage max. So then what happens is someone walks over those and does 2-3 damage each missile to their legs. Which, in the short term, not a big deal. The long term, you can do some massive damages. Now, what you do kind of how you do with artillery in World of Tanks and Armored Warfare, where artillery starts reloading. Our artillery and our airstrikes start loading, so we can't drop them on the other team right away. Do the same thing with LRMs, because if you start finding them blind to the other side of the map, then there you go. Or even just change it up so that if I fire my missiles at short range, if it hits a mech, it just bounces off the mech and lands on the ground. But when it's sitting on the ground, it can detonate at that point if someone steps on it. So it can do both friendly and non-friendly damage. That would be kind of good. I've already mentioned things about armor, different weapons, which are different ballistics I'd like to see, which, yeah. The They've already reworked the airstrikes and the way artillery works, which is pretty good. Apparently, it has a less chance of getting headshots. It just does a generic amount of damage to the mech, which is pretty good. Take a little sip here. Obviously, this month there was the integration of the Kodiak, which was pretty good. I'm already seeing a lot less of them. I've built out a Kodiak killer already, as a lot of people already have. Here is mine. It's a Hunchback 2cc with dual Gauss and 3 small lasers. This thing can do massive damage long range, and all I do is when I find a Kodiak, I shoot at the shoulders. Because if you shoot at the left shoulder, you can pretty much strip half its weapons. Then you swip and its speed is automatically reduced a significant amount. If it's a Spirit Bear, fuck that shit. I'm shooting right for the torsos. I'm ignoring the arms. I'm going right for the torsos. If I take out a torso, the arm automatically just falls right the fuck off. So it works. But yeah, so that is this episode. Bit of a rant-ish, state of the game type thing. I don't know, because I would show you gameplay right now, but I can't, because I can't connect to a fucking match. I hope there's some information updated as to what's causing the problem. But until then, see you guys next time. There will be some PvP matches that I'll be throwing up today, and over the next couple of days, just myself and Al running around goofing off. My plan was to kind of amalgamate them into a montage and put them out over the next couple of days, but I kind of said fuck it, because I don't know when I'll be able to have actual gameplay footage. So those are going to be the combat footages for this week.